Welcome to the Zohar class. Tonight portion is Beshalach, sending away. This is the story of the Torah that finally Bnei Israel coming out of Egypt, the Pharaoh sent them away. In the past few years we spoke a lot about this portion. This portion known for portion of miracles and wonders. This is the portion that this phenomenon of the 72 names reveal itself. The 72 names of God, that they stands for miracles and wonders. Tonight class is all about trust and certainty. Trust and certainty. Usually I don't like to dwell in the story of the Torah too much, but this Torah portion is amazing. The Bnei Israel finally leaving Egypt. The Egyptians, they are chasing them. If you all remember the movie, they reached to the ocean, Yam Suf. So they had the ocean in the front of them, and they had all the Egyptian soldiers behind them, that they were coming to kill Bnei Israel. So Bnei Israel start complaining, start having doubt, crying to Moshe, screaming at Moshe, screaming at God. In the Torah says, they're complaining there were no graves in Egypt. Why, Moshe, why did you bring us here? We are in such a horrible situation. There were wild animals there. It's okay, don't, that's fine. And then a miracle happened. The ocean opens up, and the Bnei Israel go through the ocean. And what the Torah says, after they reach to the other side of the ocean, they start singing and dancing. Miriam pick up an instrument. And the Torah says they start believing in Hashem, they start believing in Moshe, they start believing in God, they start believing in Torah. 2 minutes before they were complaining and crying and they want to kill Moshe and they didn't believe in God. After 2 minutes they pass the ocean, they start believing in God, they start trusting and having this certainty in Moshe and God and Torah. So tonight class is, we want to learn, what does it take in order to go from complaining, crying, not being happy, blaming the whole world, not knowing God, chas v'shalom. And what does it take for us to be happy, to have certainty, to have trust, and to believe in Moshe and Torah? This week is the most powerful section for trust and certainty, this Torah portion, Beshallach. Another way to look at it is the trust and certainty give us happiness. If you look at your life, the moment you have trust and certainty, you're happy. When you don't have trust and certainty, you're unhappy. So what are the tools? What are the tools in order to have this trust and certainty? This portion is also talking about mind and over matter. Like it says, miracles. We're going to talk about all these subjects. And there is a famous sentence, I want you to write it down, and I want you guys to remember this. This is Rabbi Ashlach, the biggest Kabbalist of our century. He says, with the absence of trust, light turns into darkness. With the absence of trust, light turns into darkness. Like I said a few minutes ago, sometimes we come to the Kenisa, and there is a Torah on Shabbat. We have absolute trust and certainty in the Torah and Shabbat. What a wonderful day we have. What a joyful day we have. But if there is no trust, if there is no certainty, all the goodness, all the good friends, all the blessings that we have, all the barakah that we have, it doesn't mean much to us. It turns into darkness. It's like you have a very good friend that you share everything with. But if you trust them, then all the blessing of the friend is yours. All his attention is yours. But if you have a friend but you don't trust them, you don't have certainty in them, that's not a blessing anymore. That friend is not a blessing. It can turn into dark. So can you imagine you have the Creator, your Creator as your friend, that you trust and you have certainty in Him? How much blessing, how much happiness you're going to receive? So, and there is another sentence, it says, certainty is the vessel for the light. Certainty is the vessel for light. We're always talking about, I want light, I want blessing, I want barakah. But in order for that blessing and barakah to come, to dwell in your vessel, you have to have certainty and trust. It says, we've been studying this for many years now. We all do good things. We all share. We all study Torah. We all scan the Zohar. We all practice kindness, love. But, certain times of the day or certain time of the week, we are not happy. We don't see the blessing. We don't see the light. Because maybe we don't have enough trust. We don't have enough certainty. That's why the light leaves us. I had a conversation with Amrjun today. He says the thing about certainty and trust, this is not something you can own. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. You have a 10% today, you have a 20% today. On Shabbat, I know most of us, we have 100% certainty. But then Monday, we lose the certainty again. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. It's not something you can own. And the amount of the light, the amount of the blessing, the amount of the happiness, the amount of the health, the amount of the success that we want in our life is totally dependent to the amount of the certainty and trust we have. If I have 20% trust and certainty today, that's exactly how much blessing is available to me. So we all experience, we do so much, we volunteer and we practice giving and channel of light. But again, we see that something is missing, it's not enough. I do so much, I volunteer, I scan, I pray 6 times today, I meditate, but something is wrong, there's dark in my life. It's not enough. That's what the Rabbi Beshallach says, that the certainty and the emunah is the key for all the barakah, all the blessings. Actually, whatever we do is to raise anything we learn, all the technology of the Kabbalah, all the tools that we use is to keep raising our level of certainty and trust, to receive more blessing. I forgot to dedicate this class to an amazing person at the beginning of the class. It's never too late. There is a gentleman that keeps giving comments to our classes, not only my class. Other classes we have, another class and other Kabbalah classes. He's a gentleman from Iran that is a refugee in Turkey. And he has a lot of challenges. He's far from his family. He's in a foreign country. He's a refugee from Iran in Turkey.
Muslim?
And he keep commenting me. And this morning, he sent me a text. And I want to dedicate this class to you, Hashem. His name is Hashem Majidi. He's in Turkey. This class is dedicated to you. He gave me so much love, so much kindness. And he says, please pray for me. Please pray for me. I want to join you guys. He was not complaining about his his challenges, he's not complaining about his situation, but he was telling me that, you know, I learned so much through these classes, through the Kabbalah, to control my ego. He taught me something over the texting. He says, you guys, I mean the Kabbalah, this wisdom of Kabbalah, he taught me how to control my ego, how not to react to this situation, how to not to react to these challenges. There's so much going on, but I learned to control my ego. I learned to be the channel of light, to find my purpose here. An amazing student, amazing student. And he didn't say that, pray for me to save me from this situation. He says, pray for me so I can come and join you guys, you know, be with you guys.
Amen.
Learn more and be more channel of light. So again, Hashem, during this class is dedicated to you. We love you and we pray for you. And hopefully, you know, you're going to be the beacon of light wherever, whoever you are, whatever you are. And we're going to see miracles. And you're going to reach your purpose. So, so that trust and certainty is the key for all the blessings. We can do all the actions. We can do all the spiritual actions. But without the trust and certainty, we are not building the vessel to receive the light. Action is fine, action is beautiful, but, you know, as far as, you know, we are doing the actions, we fall into the level of cause and effect. You do good, you receive good. God forbid you do bad, you receive bad. But we want to go above that level. When we have the trust and the certainty, we go to the higher level, to the levels of miracles and wonders. And we're going to explain what miracles and wonders are. So, you know, we all experience, we've been studying Kabbalah for so many years, and we practice it, but there are still moments of unhappiness. There are still moments of sadness. And if you look at those moments, it's only because you don't have trust and certainty. Not because, no, there is no other reason for that unhappiness. Only because we don't have trust and certainty. Worriness is such a horrible character, you know, and how many of us love to dwell in worriness? You know, there is some kind of a pleasure that's the ego gives us. There's some kind of a joy in worriness. But we want to eliminate worriness. We want to stop enjoying worriness. How many of us can't stand worriness? We don't want to be worried anymore. We don't want to dream, have these scary dreams that is the consequence of worriness. So again, by having the trust and the certainty, we are eliminating worriness from our life. I'm sure we, as a parent and as a businessman or as a mother or as a friend, we all the time worry. But it wouldn't be great to, you know, stop worrying? We worry about tomorrow, we worry about so many issues. So we are looking for this friend. We are looking for this friend that we want to have. That friend is within us. Yet the friend is all over us. There is no shortage of light, but there is no shortage of friendship. But there is a shortage of us trusting and having certainty into that light, into that friend. We just read a beautiful sentence from the Torah. He says, what the Torah says, he says, just do your job. Just do what's in your plate. Whatever you have to do today, forget about tomorrow, forget about next week. I'm not talking about not having a vision, but as of now, in order to have certainty and trust, whatever is on your plate today, whatever challenge, obstacles on your plate today, have trust. Do your maximum. I'm not saying to be passive and sit home and pray to God. No, you do your maximum. You learn all the tools to be the channel of light, to be giver, but give your maximum, but at the same time you have a trust and certainty that this friend is going to take care of the rest for you. Make a room. Many classes we spoke about. Make a room for this partner to come and do his job too. If you worry, if you're controlling, if you're nervous, if you're anxious, if you're controlling the situation, there is no room for this friend to come and help out. So we want to learn how to trust this friend to come and help us out. We all attracted to spiritual people, right? We all attracted to spiritual people, but you have to ask yourself, why I'm attractive to this person? Is it because his wisdom, or is it because his level of trust and certainty? I tested it, it's the level of trust and certainty a person has. It's the level of the emunah that person has. There's a lot of smart people out there. There's a lot of wisdom out there. But we tend to be attracted. We want to be close to somebody that has the maximum trust and certainty. If you're after wisdom, is fine. But if you really want that high level of spirituality, we want to be close to somebody that has a lot of trust and a lot of certainty, a lot of emunah. So in this Torah portion, we get this gift. In this Shabbat, we're going to get this gift of trust and certainty. And again, in this Torah portion, we are receiving the 72 names of God. And the second part of the class, we're going to talk about it deeply. So there is like 3 sections in this Torah that raise our certainty. The first one is the miracle of the opening of the sea. And the second one is the manna, the story of the manna, the food that was coming from the sky. What happened after the Bnei Israel saw the biggest miracle ever, the opening of the sea. They were almost going to get slaughtered by the Egyptians, but they got saved. There was a miracle. 2 minutes after they start singing and the partying was over, they start complaining. There is no water, there is no food, it's not comfortable here in the desert. So look at our consciousness. We are not talking about some people thousands of years ago. The Torah is talking about us. Even you have my 100% trust and certainty. Like on Shabbat, Monday morning, I start worrying again. I start being nervous again. I have doubts. I have, worriness. So this is a fight that is never going to leave us. The fight of the certainty is a constant fight. But I have to remind myself. I have to have certainty and the trust. And the third point in the Torah is the fight with Amalek. This is what Amalek stands for, doubt. We talk about it so many years. Each time Bnei Israel, they had a certainty and trust. They were winning this nation called Amalek. Each time the level of trust and certainty got lower, Amalek took over. You remember last week talked about Pharaoh that is controlling our mind. Whoever didn't listen to last week's class, I highly recommend it. It was a very good class. So this doubt is always going to come. This Pharaoh, this Egyptian or the king of the darkness is never going to leave us alone. It's always going to be after us. So the level of the trust is not something I can own forever. I cannot achieve it. I have to work on a daily basis, hourly basis. So the highest level of trust and certainty bring us miracles. I repeat, the highest level of trust and certainty bring us miracles. If I'm a good person, if I'm kind, I'm not hurting anybody, and I'm practicing Kabbalah, I'm sharing, I'm giving, that's wonderful. You're going to get a reward for it. But if you want to reach this level of miracles in your life, you have to go above just being nice and kind and loving and caring. You have to have this absolute emunah, absolute trust and certainty. Trust and certainty in what? Let me open it up, because, you know, we all heard our parents saying, you know, talking to God, and I trust God. What does it mean in our everyday life? What is trust and certainty to what? Trust and certainty is to whoever you are, whatever your situation is, as dark, as tough, as ugly it is, it's by design. It was made for you. It's not an accident. It's not because you're unlucky. It's not because you're misfortunate. Trust and certainty that you have a purpose in this life. The Creator put you in this position because you have a purpose. You are not a random incident. Each of us has a name. Each of us has a last name. Each of us has a certain look. Each of us has a certain family. Each of us has a... We were born in a certain zodiac sign. We were born in a certain country. We have a certain parents. They all have a reason. So having trust and certainty to whoever you are and whatever is in your plate. If it's a challenge of health, I have a trust and certainty there is a reason for it. I'm supposed to do something about it. We talked about it many times. Maybe I'm in charge of helping others with the same issue. Challenge in business. Maybe there is a bigger goal for me. I keep trying certain business, maybe that's not my gift. Maybe my gift is in a different business. Or I keep trying to find my soulmate. So I have to have trust and certainty, first of all, that I'm going to find it, but maybe there is a reason that's taking longer. Maybe I have to change myself. Not maybe, for sure. I have to change my ways. I have to raise the level of trust and certainty. So let's talk about miracles. So are we clear what trust and certainty means? It's not trusting somebody in a different world or somebody in the sky. Of course, we trust in our Creator that He created me in a best perfect way to do my job. There is a reason for everything, A to Z. Whatever I mentioned. The friends we have, the family we have, the place we are, the lifestyle we have. Don't forget this word. You are in a perfect place and you are the perfect person for the purpose that was assigned to you. Either you stand up to it and you deal with it and you investigate why I'm here, why these things happening to me. Or either you become a victim and you cry about it, you close the doors, you don't talk to anybody, and you fall into your darkness. So whatever it is was made for you, is your job to accomplish. There was a beautiful sentence. It says, either we walk with our head up, with the shoulder up, face up, chin up. Doesn't matter what's your financial situation, doesn't matter what's the health situation, doesn't matter what the circumstances. We have trust and certainty. We walk straight. we are smiling, we're full of love and light. Or either we don't have trust and certainty and we are hiding all the time. We don't answer the phones, we don't call the people we're supposed to call. We are in hiding. So the difference between walking high and glowing to the person that is hiding, not talking, not communicating, sad and depressed and angry at the whole world, is the level of trust. Trust and certainty. It doesn't nothing have to do with your looks, with your money, with your position. Nothing have to do with it. I'm sure you all know both kind of people. So we want to be the one that walks straight, heads up, full of light, and that's going to be only the result of the trust and certainty we have in our life. So we said we want to reach miracles. We want to reach a level of miracles and wonders. What is miracles? How can we define miracle? I love to hear from you guys, but since we're in the camera, I just gonna go forward. Miracles is not manipulating the reality to serve my ego. I'm gonna repeat it again. Miracle is not manipulating reality in order to serve my ego. I want a miracle tomorrow to have $1 million. But what's the purpose behind that? You want a miracle, $1 million for your ego, so you're gonna be proud of how much money you have, and you're gonna show off, and you're gonna have ego. You want a miracle, I don't know, in your business because you want to show that you're a smart person, you're a good businessman. You want a miracle in relationship because you want it to serve your purpose only. So miracles is not manipulating the reality in order to serve your ego. It's not. What is a miracle? Miracle is when I have certainty and trust into my job, my purpose, my position. I accept 100% whoever I am, whatever my situation is. When I accept it, when I have trust and certainty, then the miracles happen in order for me to serve my purpose better, to be the channel of light for myself and other people. So, having a miracle is in order to do my job in the best possible way, to the maximum of my potential. To give you an example of the miracle of opening of the sea, think about it. The biggest miracle ever happened to Bnei Israel was the opening of the sea. They got richer, they got money, they become more successful, they become, better looking. No. The whole nation got saved. The whole nation got saved. Look at us. We are the children of those people. If that miracle wouldn't happen, we wouldn't be here. So there must be a much bigger picture when I'm asking for a miracle. Miracle is nothing have to do with the me, with what I need. Miracle have to do with my purpose in life. If you are serving the community, if you are dedicated to your community with trust and certainty, then miracles happen and the community get better. If you're dedicated to your job, if you are utilizing your gift to the maximum, then miracles happen so you can do your gift. You can serve the world in a better way. So miracles do happen all the time, but when it's collective miracle. not only for a personal ego. So there is a word that you're all familiar with called Atika Kadisha. When Bnei Israel get to the sea, and they start screaming to Moshe, and Moshe was start screaming at God. That's in the Torah. God tells them, "Why you're screaming at me? I cannot do nothing for you guys. Just start walking to the water. Start going to the ocean." So, in other Kabbalah classes, we learned that the God, the Yud Hey Vav Hey that we know of, is in the level of Tiferet. If you are in Malchut, the Yud Hey Vav Hey is in the level of Tiferet. When Bnei Israel, they were stuck, they didn't know what to do, and they were praying and crying to Yud Hey Vav Hey. There's nothing I can do for you guys. You guys have to go above me to the Keter level. This is where it's called Atika Kadisha. Atika Kadisha is a higher level of the Creator that is in charge of the miracles and wonders. And in order to reach that level of Atika Kadisha, we're going to have to go through 3 lines. So if this is Malchut, this is where we are, the higher level called Zeir Anpin, which is a level of cause and effect. And if you want to go to a higher level called Atika Kadisha, which is a level of miracles, we have to reach there in 3 lines. They call it the right column, the left column, and the central column. So, what does it take for me to reach that level of miracles? I have to travel through these three columns. I'm going to learn what those 3 columns are. The first column, the right column, is the giving column. But giving from heart and soul. Giving from heart and soul. We all the time talking in the class, we have to be a giver, we have to give tzedakah, we have to volunteer, we have to give a smile, give love. But in order to reach that level of miracles, you have to give from heart and soul. No agenda whatsoever. I don't want to know, like many times knowledge in the classes he says, I don't want to know where this tzedakah goes, where this money goes. I don't want no recognition. I don't want no thank you whatsoever. I don't give in order to receive. You know, many times we learn how to be a giver, but we give, but in our consciousness, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm not going to mention anything, but in our head, we're still waiting for recognition, waiting to receive something. So, giving with heart and soul, with no doubt whatsoever, truly without regardless of any kind of appreciation. So it's giving totally selfless, with no attachment. You know, sometimes the Kabbalah says we give, but we still make sure, you know, we call back and we calculate, and did you receive it? Did you get it? Was I good to you? Was I nice to you? Can I do better? It says no calculation. You just give with no calculations, with not calling and checking and finding out if you did good or not. Giving with a total trust and certainty. And we're not talking only about money. It's your time, it's smiling, being happy, going out of your comfort zone. Giving for the purpose of making this world a better place. The next column, the left column, It's the I, the self-doubt. It's the me with the self-doubt. I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not healthy enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not successful enough. I'm not tall enough. It's the level of I'm not happy with who I am. We talked about it a few minutes ago. We said the level of trust and certainty that whoever you are is 100% by design. If you're still complaining about, I don't know, the city you are at, the looks you have, the business you have, the car you have, the house you have, the family you have, you cannot reach this level. You cannot reach this level. Is whoever you are, whatever you are, is a perfect for the design that was made for you. I'm not talking about not being self-reflected. Every day, every hour, every night, every few days, whatever, we have to self-reflect. How I'm doing with my life. Not judging ourselves, but see if I'm reaching my potential. Did I get mad or angry or use any negative language? So we do have to self-reflect. But again, not looking down on ourselves, not feeling victim, not feeling worthless. In our eyes, sometimes, we don't have enough, but this lesson says, whoever you are, whatever is in your plate today, whatever you have to do today, do the maximum. In the class today, you learn the maximum. You try to be a channel of light for others from this class, not only for yourself. So if you have self-doubt about your abilities, then you cannot reach Atika Kadisha, to the miracle levels. You are perfect for what you were designed for. If you're doubting, that's a very powerful sentence. I want you to write it down. Powerful and painful. It says, doubting into yourself is doubting the Creator. Doubting yourself is doubting the Creator. If you don't trust yourself, if you don't have certainty in who you are, then you don't have trust and certainty for a Creator. All the spectrum, money, looks, age. We talked about age before. Don't limit yourself with the age. We all have potential. We're gonna, for many, many more years, we have a lot of work to do. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the situation, the family, the health, the business. You don't have doubt about yourself. You're full of potential for the design and the purpose you were made for. What is, this is a lesson that we have to tell ourselves on a daily basis. Reflect and identify to yourself that I'm in a perfect position and a perfect person for the job to do. What is the central column? So we talk about the right, left. What is the central column in order to reach Atika Kadisha, the realm of miracles? Is doubting the positive final outcome. If I have doubt that someday is going to be good, someday is going to be wonderful. We talked about sickness before. A sick person, he believes he's sick, he's sick. If you believe you're sick, you're sick. But if you believe that this is a temporary situation, I'm going through a challenge, I'm going through the obstacle, I'm going to come out of it. The end result is wonderful. So then I can reach the Atika Kadisha. But if I think for the next 100 years it's going to be horrible and bad and sad, then I cannot reach that level. It looks dark now, but I know it's going to be positive someday. The more trust and certainty we have, the sooner the light's going to come. So the end result, doubting the positive final outcome. Trusting that the good will reveal itself. You remember we talk about it many times, the student that comes every week. We said we are in a period of 6,000 years. The beginning of the 6,000 years was the heaven, we were in heaven and everything was wonderful. After 6,000 we are in 5,778 now. So the 6,000 is we're going to be in Gan Eden again, we're going to be in heaven again. So the 6,000 years, yeah, we have to go up and down, we have to go through some challenges, but we know for a fact that after 6,000 years it's going to be wonderful. If we believe that this challenge that we have is forever, I'm never going to come out of this issue, then I cannot reach Atika Kadisha. But if I know, if I truly believe that I'm going to handle this situation, it's a temporary darkness, the light is coming, the end result is wonderful, then I can reach the Atika Kadisha. You know, when there is no trust, who kicks in? The ego, the Satan, the Pharaoh. There is no third person. The Zohar says in such a beautiful language. He says there is no third person. Either you trust and have certainty in your Creator, you know, or as soon as you stop trusting your Creator, the Satan kicks in and he gives you so many good things. Like my friend says, with the limousine is waiting for you. He gives you all the reasons to hate, he gives you all the reason to be angry, he gives you all the reason to hide and disconnect yourself, he gives you all the reason to be depressed and mad and feel a victim. So there is no third person. It's either this one or either that one. So the more we raise our certainty and trust, the lower we do the ego and the negative force, the Pharaoh. If I have 20% trust and certainty, 80% of my mind is the Pharaoh, is the negative side. If it's 50, if it's 60, if it's 80% trust, then there's 20% of the Pharaoh. There is no third energy, there is no third power. You know, when we read the Torah in a Farsi, I keep saying God, Khoda, but I keep using the word Creator. It's by purpose. Because when you know you're a createe, there is a reason for you that you've been created. I can keep saying God, God, or Hashem, but it doesn't mean much. But when I say Creator, that means that we are the createe. There is a purpose. Somebody created this table for a purpose. Somebody created this, wonderful chart for a purpose. Somebody created this wonderful building for a purpose. Somebody created me and you for a purpose. To serve a purpose. Just saying God is wonderful, but when we keep saying Creator, then it makes us a createe, so we have a purpose. So our job is to shifting the level of consciousness and trust on a daily basis. We all reach the level that we can say we are spiritual. I'm studying Kabbalah, but still something's wrong. Still there is a moment of unhappiness. There is still moments of sadness. It's only the result of not having trust and certainty. And the Kabbalah says that we have a huge deficiency of trust and certainty. Don't flatter yourself that I have all the trust and certainty. We all have a lack of trust and certainty. Recognizing that we have a lack of trust and certainty is a blessing already. If you recognize that you have a lack of trust and certainty, that's a great blessing, because that's the first step to achieve trust and certainty. I think we don't have that much time left, so I want to, excuse me?
10 minutes.
Wow, so I want to move on to the 72 names. You know, maybe we all saw the 72 names. Oh, by the way, we didn't read from the Zohar. We all familiar with the 72 names. We all seen it maybe online, and we saw it in friends' houses. We see it on Shabbat. We all think that this is something new that we just find out about it. It's a new wisdom. No, it's not. Guess where the 72 names is coming from? From the Zohar. You know, the first time that the 72 names revealed itself, it was by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar, 2,000 years ago. If you go to page 214, you're going to see the 72 names. Look how powerful the Zohar is. The Zohar is the one that revealed the 72 names to us. I highly recommend go to your Zohar books, book number 9, page 214, and study the whole section about the 72 names of God. So this amazing secret in the Torah was revealed by the Zohar. What is the 72 names of God? For whoever doesn't know, in this week parasha, Beshallach, when the seas opens, and I recited on Yom Kippur, if you pay attention, there is 3 sentences. On every sentence, there is exactly 72 letters. When the God's cloud was protecting Bnei Israel, in the back, in the front, on the top, and they crossed the sea, and there is 3 sentences with exactly 72 letters that if you rearrange them, you come up with the 72 names. And if you pay attention, during the holidays, when we read the 72 names, sometimes we read it from up to down, sometimes from down to up, sometimes from side to side. Let me share a secret with you. Each time we read it from up to down, we connect into to Abraham, to the right column. Each time we are reading it from down to up, we are connecting to Isaac. What does that mean? That means we are connecting to pure chesed, to pure light of the Creator. When you are connecting to Gevurah, to the Isaac column, that means that I have to make a move. I have to do an action. I have to deal with a challenge in order to connect to that light. And the central column, Yaakov, is combining the two from right to left, combining Chesed and Gevurah. That means that whatever seems to be a challenge in my life is actually a kindness of the Creator that want to reveal itself. The 72 names of God there's so many secrets about it. There is 72 names, and in Hebrew 72 is equal to Chesed. Chesed. Samech is 60, Chet is 8, and Dalet is 4. So it's equal to 72. Do you know how many letters we have? We have 72 names. How many letters we have? 216. What is the 216 stands for? Gevurah. So if you add up all the numbers, it's going to be 216. 206, 2, 3, and 5. You can add it up, it's going to be 216. It's not an amazing technology. It's telling you there is a lot of kindness, all the love All the mercy of the Creator is within the 72 names, but also there is a judgment, there is a gevurah. You have to do something, you have to go through that challenge with trust and certainty in order to receive this chesed. To give you an example that what happened yesterday, you know, we had a Brit Milah here yesterday. A real Brit Milah. You know? So and Farimajun, a couple of people were here. You know, Brit Milah is the highest level of spirituality. Being in a Brit Milah is like fasting for 40 days. Is like the highest level, all the gates are open. And when me and Farimajun were looking at the hand of the Mohel, it was full of blood. So how can such a powerful moment, such a amazing chesed, how come there is blood involved in it? It's exactly the lesson of the 72 names. It's made of chesed, but you have to go through the gevurah. There must be a gevurah. There must be a judgment. This is the white, the color of the chesed is white, the color of gevurah is red. They go hand to hand. But if I look only on the bad, without there is a goodness in it, with trust and certainty, it's only bad. You know, when we truly, really get rid of that Pharaoh and the Egyptians, the Torah says when the Bnei Israel, they look back and they saw all the Egyptians are dead. When are we going to reach that, our potential? When are we going to reach that trust and certainty? When we're going to look back at all our negative behavior, conscious, desires, speak, dead. Not just, you know, I'm not going to say Lashon Hara today, or, you know, I'm not going to say Lashon Hara tomorrow. I want to look at it as dead out of my life. Judging, hating, anger, controlling. I want to see it dead within me. So again, the biggest miracle came when they were dead people. When the Egyptians died. You know, there was an amazing sentence the Kabbalist says. He said, even the Egyptians, they were the creator of God. It was painful to the Creator to destroy him. They were his children. But in order to create chesed, in order to create goodness, in order to receive the blessing and light and barakah, you have to have a trust and certainty during those difficult times. You have to deal with those gevurot. You have to understand them and see the purpose behind them. So this is such wonderful letters, but it's beautiful names, but you have to deal with the gevurah. One more time about there's so many good points in this portion. So often ask me, what should I do with the 72 names? Which one is good for money? Which one is good for health? Which one is good for happiness? Let me share with you a secret. All the 72 names are within our Siddur, within our prayer books. Every single one of them. Every single one of the 72 names was designed by the Kabbalists, by the Ari Kadosh. So we see it on a daily basis. You don't have to search for this. If you go through the prayer of Shabbat or your morning prayers, there is healing, there is blessing of the Kohanim. All the 72 names are available within our prayer books. But again, just reciting these, just meditating on it is going to do the job. It's going to do something, but if you truly want the miracle, you have to shift the level of trust and certainty within our life. If I have all the trust and the certainty, when I wake up in the morning, when I do the modeh, when I do the netilah, when I do the blessings, all the mim hey shin, all these letters are within the siddur. How often do we open the siddur? You know, it's not a religious thing. It's a technology. It's a technology. You see it, and you have the trust and the certainty, The miracle that you need is going to happen to you that day. If you think it's a prayer book and it's a religious book and I don't need it, but it's a technology. By us seeing these letters, you know, the eyes are the window to our soul. You know, when we go through the Siddur, the Shema Israel, all the 72 names are within it. Before we end the class, I want to talk about two more points. Very beautiful points. In this section of the Torah, I know we don't have time, on the fifth aliyah, on verse 4, when God gives the man, the bread from the sky, there's a beautiful sentence. God says, I'm going to give him the manna, the bread from the sky, to test Bnei Israel. To test Bnei Israel. I'm going to read it in English really fast. So we are 5th Aliyah, section 4. Then the Lord said to Moses, I will rain down bread from heaven for you. The people are to go out each day and gather enough for that day. In this way I will test them and see whether they will follow my Torah or not. So each time we earn our salary or our bread, the Torah says it's not the Kabbalist or it's not the Zohar, it's the actual Torah. It says the bread you receive, the food you receive, the sustenance you receive, talking about sustenance, is a test. Are you following the Torah? Are you following your Creator? You think you make that money? You think you're in charge? You think this is your money? This is your sustenance? It's a test. Either it gives you or it doesn't give you, both ways a test. I highly recommend to keep reading this sentence. It's a test. How much you appreciate, or are you serving a purpose higher than you? And there is another word, they said, you know, I'm going to give manna for Gulgolet. It's on the 6th aliyah, on the 16th sentence, on the sentence number 16, is using the word Gulgolet. The Kabbalist says he's talking about Gilgul Neshama, the reincarnation. It's talking about the food that we eat, and then it's talking about reincarnation. How do we eat our food? You know, are we eat our food when we are watching TV or bad news, or are we nervous? Or are we eating the food as a Jewish person supposed to eat his food? With appreciation, with blessing, with barakah, calm down, among the loved ones, with the family, around the table. How do we eat our food? Did you pay attention? Sometimes you eat your food when you're nervous and angry. You have a stomachache all night, especially certain zodiac signs, you see it on them very clearly. But when you eat your food in a peaceful way, no TV, no fighting, no arguing, you're digesting that food in such a perfect way. How does it work? What is the technology behind eating food? It's talking about reincarnation. It says there is a soul. There is a soul within the food that we eat. The Kabbalah says why we are supposed to eat all the time. The Creator couldn't create us in a different way that we don't have to eat. Of course He could. But what's the reason that we have to eat all the time? Because we're supposed to extract the neshama, the soul within the food. That's going to help us. That's going to guide us. With the trust and certainty each time I bite my food, each time I eat my food, with the trust and certainty and the blessing, then I digest not only the minerals, I also digest the soul within that food. So if I'm nervous, if I'm angry, if I'm watching TV, you're not extracting anything from that food. But when you do it with appreciation, with blessing, with trust and certainty in your Creator that gave you this sustenance, then you're extracting that neshama, that soul within the food we eat. I know we reached the 1 hour. don't move. I have like a couple of more secrets to share with you guys. But we reached 1 hour. Thank you very much.